Well, actually, it's a long history. We are both originally from South Sudan. There was a war that was between the North and the South. Living in the town was not safe for us. As my parents advised me to leave the country because they have seen that we are not safe. So we came to Nigeria. It was not by our choice. It was due to circumstances that beyond our control.
I was 5 when we first moved to Chattanooga.
And I was 7.
I'd never heard of a place called Chattanooga, and I didn't even know of a place called the United States. So it was like an unexpected, where are we going?
When we landed, it was snowing, and I remember being really shocked at the idea that it was snow and there was like white things pouring out of the sky and it was cold. We weren't dressed for the weather at all. We didn't have like large coats and stuff like that. And so it was a very big cultural shock for both of us. And when we came to our first house, our first apartment, the area around it was covered in like a lot of snow. So we got to like walk around and see all the white things on the ground. At that time, we didn't know that it was called snow. We learned like a couple days later that it was called snow.
And while we entered into the United States, we felt that we are safe. But our safety was still not complete, because I feel that my children always will feel, if I continue to rent houses, they will feel that they are foreigners in this country. But establish their home, to feel that they have their own house, they will feel that they are at home. Even if we say that you are in the United States, you feel like you are home in South Sudan, while they are still renting the houses from house to house, they may not feel that they are feeling at home. But I was having a dream that finding their own house will let my kids grown up with the understanding that they are at home.
The first time I heard about Habitat, I didn't realize it was going to be like an opportunity for us to get a new house, because my parents would talk about it, but I didn't really understand what they were talking about. Then we had our first meeting at the Habitat office, and I heard the words of a house here and there, and then which later became my dad going to do his volunteer hours, helping for the building of other houses.
I determined that whatever the Habitat required, I must do it in a very short possible time. First, when I started, I took a vacation for 2 weeks. And I spent all the vacation of 2 weeks in Habitat, working every day from Monday to Saturday. Only Sunday when they are off. But when they are, anytime they are working, I'm there. And from there, after my vacation ended and I went back to my work, before I go to my work, I have to go to Habitat and work at least for 4 hours before I go to work. So I did it as a full-time program that shortened my time from 6 months or 1 year to be under. I complete everything under less than 3 months. The Habitat management made a decision that since the program is 1 year or 6 months, and somebody did them before that time, they made a decision and built my house. So I appreciate them for that.
The first time I ever saw the house was we drove by, and at first it was just land, like nothing on it really. And then we drove by again like a few weeks or a month later or something, and I saw the foundation for the house, and I was like, wow, they're starting the process. And then we drive by with our mom and dad and like see as our house was getting built. And then over time, I was like, this is getting closer to us having to move in. And I was starting to say goodbye to the apartment even like a month before, because I realized we won't be here for much longer.
When we walked through the door of our home for the first time, I remember it being very open, and I remember it being completely different from the apartment we lived in before. I felt a sense of like, this is where I'm going to grow up, and this is where I'm going to do my homework, this is where I'll be spending most of my days and things like that. And so it was really exciting for me to be able to come in and see a completely blank canvas and just, I guess, throw on paint, do whatever I want with it, and get involved. And that was a very big thing for me.
Well, there is a lot of impact, starting by myself and my kids and my wife. First, my kids feel that they are at home because they have their own privacy, where nobody is judging them on anything. Myself, I feel that my kids are safe when I leave my house. I lock my gates, go to my work. And at the same time, I have a peaceful of mind that after I have a house, I must do something that will help me and help my children's future. I went back to school with a peaceful of mind. Just last month, I just graduated from the university. So I just obtained my first degree last month, and I am continuing. Now I enroll in master's degree because all the dream I want to achieve. After having my house, I know that higher education will provide all those dreams that I'm dreaming that to achieve them in America.
What I wish people knew about Habitat is the different opportunities that they'll gain from the experience. I wish they knew how their children could benefit from it and what traits they can develop from that. Like, you learn the importance of responsibility, the importance of persistence and resilience, no matter what happens throughout the process. And as I've learned from my father is that even throughout the hardships in the experience, he never stopped working hard for it. He always kept going forward so that we'd benefit from it in the future.
It's a place where you can make memories and you can grow up learning different things in that house. And I feel like I wish more people knew about how the process works.